Hey Earthbites gang! So we're going to do our final in the series of the summer transplants that we've been working on. I planted these guys about 6 weeks ago. They've been growing in my house. If you've been watching our series on these, we're going to get them in the ground today. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the one thing that I did before I came today was I left these out for the last 36 hours or so. They've actually been outside hardening off. Because if you take them straight out of your house and you put them into the ground, you can shock them. So it's good if you can leave them outside for a couple of days before you put them in the ground, and that's going to help them grow a lot better, and they won't die as soon as you put them in the ground. Otherwise, that could happen to you. So this one right here I got is one of the cucamelons that I've been growing. You can see it's got these long tendrils in here. It likes to climb, so we're going to put a trellis in here as well. Now we don't have roots coming out the bottom for this one, so we actually don't have to worry too much about being careful, but just peel the bottom of your pot open. There you can start to see a few of the little roots growing down there. And we're going to plant this one right up to the top of the pot for this guy. So dig a hole, test it, a little too deep, pop it in. Now hold the plant out of the way while you're backfilling the dirt. You don't want to bury the plant, that could damage the stem. Grab one of our trellises. There we go, cucamelon. Alright, so this one here I've got a cantaloupe. And again, we don't have roots coming out. You'll see some of them that you'll have long roots coming out of the bottom. So I'm just going to peel it away nice and gently to make sure I don't disturb many of those roots. There they are, all bunched up in there. But the other thing about this plant is you'll notice it's not very strong. It's falling over on its own. It's been reaching for the light indoors. So with this one, I'm actually going to plant it up to the leaves. I'm going to dig a hole and I'm going to pop the whole thing so it goes right up to the leaves. And what's going to happen is all of this stem right here is going to turn into new roots. The stem will grow its own roots out of it, so it can change. So let's get this guy going in. Nice deep hole. Keep your dirt close by because you're going to need it for burying. Let's test it. Hold the plant up. That's going to be ground level. And we'll gently backfill all around. We want to make sure we don't break that stem as we're backfilling. Okay, so here's one of our cucumbers. And you can see with this one, we've got lots of roots coming out of it. So I'm not actually going to take the bottom off of this one. The roots have already penetrated the bottom. If I start pulling the bottom off, I could break these roots. The other thing that's cool about this cucumber, I know it's a little tricky to see, but if you can see right here by my finger, it's actually starting to grow some flowers too. So we'll pop this in over here. With this one, we want to make sure we get the hole deep enough for the roots, but we're going to go, because it's a little tall, we're going to do the same thing up to the leaves. So try and get those roots down in there first, test the leaves out, gently backfill. Popcorns, and we're going to pop those in the ground. This is a calico popcorn. You can see in this one, we've got the roots are starting to come out of the bottom. So I'm going to be really, really careful. I think I'm just going to actually try and open this up a little bit. I don't want to pull the roots off. Often if I have roots coming out of the bottom, I just leave them. Now, I'm going to want to plant this one right here. I'm going to want to plant it up a little bit on the plant, but not all the way to the leaves like we did some of our other ones. I'm only going to go up to here, and that's going to help hold it up a little bit. You want to plant corn pretty close together because they need other corn to pollinate each other. So I'm going to put these all in a row right here. Alright, so we got a tomato plant here, and I'm actually on the other end of the garden from where I just planted some cucamelons, because tomatoes and cucumbers do not like each other. So the soil in this one is compacted a little bit. I'm just going to pull the top of this off. That's going to give us a little bit better access. We don't have any roots coming through the bottom, so it should be pretty easy to just nice and gently open that up a little bit. Now what I want to do with the tomatoes, I'm going to plant this all the way up, but again, like the other ones that we were planting, they're going to grow roots out of this nice big stem. That's going to give it a lot more support as well. So you want to find someplace nice and deep in your garden, and the reason I'm keeping it away from the cucumbers is cucumbers and tomatoes hate each other. They do not like to grow in the same space at all. Again, I'm holding the plant up as I'm filling all around. Okay, so this one right here, we've got a zucchini, and it got really big. So this is a trick you can use to help support it, is get a stick with a clothespin and get the plant inside the hole of the clothespin like that. So we're going to plant this one up quite high to make sure that it's got lots of support. Just gently open the bottom up again. You want to make sure you find a place in your garden where you're going to have lots of open space. I do have some lettuce in behind here, but we'll get it out before the zucchini gets too big. Alright, nice and gently. What I'm going to do now is put this back in and clip it very gently again. And that's also going to help hold it up. If your plants got really long, find something that you can use to prop them up with. Alright, Earth Bites gang, there's your summer transplants in the ground. Make sure you give them some water. You're going to want to water them fairly frequently, and make sure you're watering them in the ground, not on the leaves. Those plants are still baby plants, and they still are going to be very fragile until they start developing their own root system in the new soil that you put them in. They're going to need some extra care. We're going to be showing you how to transplant in containers next week if you want to do them in containers as well. Pretty much the same thing, but we've got Pablo who's got a few tips for you as well, so we'll put that one out next week. Hopefully you guys had as good luck as we did. I can't wait to hear about everything you're growing. Stay tuned for our next series, and we'll see you guys again really soon.